So two issues that I just want to hit with one stone on this live broadcast. The first one is that the government of Zimbabwe is considering lowering the passport fees, which are currently at 170 United States dollar, especially if you are applying for the passport within the borders of Zimbabwe. But in South Africa, I understand it's 5,000 rand. That is, I mean, Zimbabwe passport cost more than the cost of the passport within the region. And according to the government of Emerson Mnangagwa, they are planning to reduce. It remains to be seen. It's a plan in the pipeline. Of course, Barakashis are running with this story as if it is something that has been done. It's a consideration. And also, the second story that I will be dealing with, it is the upgrading of the Victoria Falls operation hours to 24 hours. So these are the two stories that I would be dealing with. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Thonipani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So according to the government gazette, which was issued yesterday, the 13th of November 2025, it says government gazette extraordinary published by authority, and it says general notice 2265 A of 2025 Immigration Act, Chapter 402, ports of entry and departure, and they write as follows. It is hereby declared that in terms of Section 41 of the Immigration Act, Chapter 402, the Ministry has extended the operating hours for the Victoria Falls border post to 24 hours on a daily basis with effect from the date of publication of this notice. So AMBR Faranesi, Secretary for Home Affairs and Cultural Heritage. So two things that are coming up is that the Victoria Falls border post will now be operating for 24 hours. I mean, this was supposed to be long done. This was supposed to be done long time ago. Anyway, it's one of the good things that the regime is doing, but also looking at the timing, there are so many things that they want to do right, and look at the timing and what they are pushing. At the moment when Emerson Mnangagwa is pushing for the extension of his term of office, and also it is said they are considering reducing the cost of passport. I mean, which is the highest globally. There is no country with, overpriced passports cost such as Zimbabwe. Government uses the passport, of which we know that it is the government of Zimbabwe which has created the current scenario whereby it is difficult for Zimbabweans to remain in Zimbabwe because of the current economic conditions. And most of Zimbabweans, even as I'm speaking today, are leaving Zimbabwe for good, hopefully, because of the current economic conditions, which have actually worsened the livelihoods of the people. So they are considering reducing the cost of passports to how much? It's an issue on the pipeline. It was written by one of the papers that these days usually writes government stories. It says government to lower passport fees as it escalates process to reduce administered prices. Let me just zoom up this so that I can read clear. It says the government is considering reducing passport fees in line with the country's intensifying ease of doing business push, as well as the need to cushion vulnerable citizens from economic hardships. This emerged in Parliament on Wednesday following a question on what the government was doing to ensure that ordinary passports, which currently cost $170, were affordable to the poor. Responding to the question, the Minister of Agriculture, Anxious Masuka, who was the acting leader of government business in the August House then, confirmed that authorities were open to reviewing the high cost of travel documents. He said this would ensure that whoever needs a passport, that person would be actually issued. Now it's difficult. Passport is actually reserved for people with a lot of money in Zimbabwe. Otherwise, if you don't have money, it's difficult for Zimbabwe to obtain passports. That is why they travel to other countries without the passports, risking their lives. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you